Hello, everyone. Welcome to our workshop today, Connecting the Dots in Distribution. I am your host, Amy Keenan, founder of the ISV Society. I like to put these webinars, workshops, and educational events together to help you become familiar with what's available in the ecosystem to help make your jobs easier, because that's our ultimate goal. And today, as we know, we're talking all about distribution, and our customer that we're going to be focusing on is True Brew Distribution. Try and say that a million times. And they are going to be showing you some wonderful things today on how to use an accounting system, as well as e-commerce, as well as sales tax, and how it all fits and connects together to make your life easier when someone is trying to buy something from you as a distributor. So here are our wonderful presenters today. We have Katie and Telka from Western Computer, Chris from commercebuild, and Renee and Ash from Avalara. So very excited to have them walk you through the life of a distributor and how to connect those dots. So why does this matter? First, I just want to give us a little background, a little story, and help you understand what you're going to be seeing today, what we're going to be talking about, and why it all fits together. So we know distribution is just getting harder, especially today when customers' expectations are rising. We're going into multi-channels, trying to sell everywhere to everyone. Tax and compliance can be then complex because we are going into all these different areas. We're expanding, we're growing, which is so great. But we need these systems in place to help us do that. So, and also margins are tighter and tighter, and mistakes just cost more just based on all of the things that are going on in society today and how they impact us as a distributor. So today's story is about True Brew Distribution. And where the typical day gets complicated is when an order arrives and from different channels with different pricing rules, with different tax jurisdictions, with different fulfillment needs. And so as this volume grows, these manual steps that we're worried about, that we're trying to do in the background, can obviously slow down our production time, our operations, as well as our risk. And so today, the reality of modern distribution is what we're going to walk through and see how it all works together to make your jobs easier. So this is the day in the life flow, how it typically unfolds at True Brew Distribution. First, obviously, we have the order. We set the pace. They come in from whatever channel it may be that you are selling into. Then the validation happens. Then the operations keep this momentum going. And then the finance closes the loop. So you're going to see all these different components and how they fit together from an e-commerce standpoint, from an ERP accounting software standpoint, and from a accounting tax compliance standpoint. And so just to go over a little bit about the operational background and the accounting software, it's Business Central at the core. And this is your system of record. This is your real-time visibility. And this is where it anchors the entire process, which Telka will talk about. And so today we want to extend that core system with different solutions for commerce, for tax automation and compliance, for accuracy, for integrated workflows, and how all of these solutions connect together and provide these tools to make it simple and easy for the distribution, not only the distributor, but also the buying experience. So today we're going to be doing a live demo overview of True Brew Distribution and their coffee distributor, how processes work, how customers can place orders, how everything happens in Business Central in real time, how tax determination and compliance are then calculated, and connecting the whole order cash process. So with that, I am going to hand the reins over to Chris at commercebuild. Chris, are you ready?
I think so. And thank you for the great introduction. I will do a little bit of PowerPoint and then we'll jump right into the demo. So the problem we often see with distributors is that they pick a mainstream e-commerce solution, but those are often not built for an integration with an ERP, and data lives in different silos. You would be managing your pricing, your inventory, your products, your customers, and your financials in the ERP. But the e-commerce system needs similarly pricing, inventory, products, customers, and financials to operate on in and of itself. So you end up having to build a connector, maintain those, and you're managing data in two different places. And as Amy already indicated, we have a slightly different approach to that. The reason for that is that without a seamless e-commerce integration, you'll have a lot of order errors. You have to manually process and correct things that leads to poor customer experience and of course, inefficient order management. commercebuild has been around for 20 years. We've always built e-commerce web stores on top of ERP. We always knew that our product would be integrating with ERP systems. We've been fully integrated to Business Central. We have 24-hour support. We have people in New Zealand and all the way onto the West Coast. So we can truly deliver that global approach. And we are your one-stop shop for planning, designing, connecting, and building your store on top of Business Central. As you can see here, kind of like the general infrastructure that companies operate on, they have their warehouses, their inventory, their pricing, customer data, business logic, like for example, sales tax, configurators, possibly their sales team. Business Central is at the core of that, and we hook right into that process without you having to manage things in two places. We can operate that with our headless engine through WooCommerce. People may know WooCommerce better under its parent company, WordPress. Almost half of the internet runs on WordPress. So you have a trusted e-commerce platform for the front end, for the experience of your clients that seamlessly integrates with Business Central for all the real-time data. That, of course, comes in different formats. Some people run a full integrated e-commerce solution. Other people prefer to just have a customer portal where people can pay open invoices. Some have a limited sales portal, but through the headless engine, all of these things are possible. I will show you a quick example. This is a client that has an open site, almost a B2C experience, right? But all logic, all product attributes, all prices, all inventory numbers, and if needed, images, what have you. If the ERP has it, we can bring it over seamlessly in real time onto the web store. And of course, that's customer specific. So when a different customer logs in, they will get different prices, different logic, exactly following what Business Central presents to us. Here's another example of such a web store. Now let's be True Brew Distribution, a client of True Brew Distribution, I should say. I can simply go to the search and search for an item. It shows me the whole coffee beans bag. And as I look at the details, the price for me is calculated. So it checks that real time with Business Central. It's $180. At this point, we don't have all the information yet to calculate the taxes, but you'll see that as I go through the process, it will add it. But any other attributes, product images, descriptions can come from the ERP as you need it. I'll add the item to my cart, and when we go view the cart, we can change the quantity if necessary, but it starts validating this logic with the ERP as well in case there's multiple products in the cart and combined they trigger separate logic. Here you see that address information is coming from the ERP from Business Central related to this customer, and based on that information, it calculates the taxes. And this is a real-time tax calculation using the Avalara module as part of Business Central as well, which you will see later too. If I would to choose a different address, you can enable or disable that for each client, whether they are allowed to do that or not. It would do a recalculation of those sales taxes based on what is applicable to that ship to address, of course. So You can see the flexibility there in terms of business logic and how you approach that. Payment terms, whether it's on account or with a credit card, all of that can also be configured per customer or group of customers. When I place the order, this actually creates a sales order in Business Central. And this is also a good point to switch it over to Katie to tell you a little bit more about Business Central.